Hey, good morning. It's Saturday morning for me. If you're a European, maybe it's what is it? Sunday afternoon? I don't know. It confuses me all that time traveling. Hey, my name's Eric. I'm making a game. That game is called the Godkiller. And what is it? It's a puzzle solving adventure game, basically. You push around blocks, but you're thinking it's like Sokoban. No, just disabuse yourself of that. The blocks, they've got letters on them. You spell words with them. They move around in ways that normal Sokoban blocks do not. They fly across the room when you push them. You have to figure out how to use all three dimensions to get things where you want them to go. And that's only just one of the game elements, those blocks, but they are prominent in the game. So I imagine when people take a look at the game, they'll say, oh, it's a block pushing game. Cool. I'm not going to worry too much about that first impression. All right, let's do a demo. I like to start each stream with recently completed progress, and then I go on to do some work, and I figure there's a fair amount of people that might just want to check out the progress on the game, and they're not so much interested in me mumbling about what I'm working on and writing code and fiddling with settings. And I don't blame you if you're not into that, but there's a quick little update at the beginning of each stream to say, what did I do on this game lately? Let's start with this one. Okay, I've been into face animation over the last week or so. Now, I wrote a whole bunch of code for face animation earlier, and now I'm quite interested in taking it to 100%. Getting it all complete. A lot of times you can fool yourself into thinking you're further along than you are. That's why it's important to take individual features to 100% completion, to where there's nothing else that you need to do except maybe some bugs come up later, or you get like a little idea that you want to try out. But it should be ready to release, But my point is, instead of doing a little bit on one feature, then coming back and fixing it up a little bit more, and then coming back again and doing a little more, and always feeling like you've almost got it done, but you find out there's a ton of extra work when you actually get it all the way there. I say maybe do it in 2 passes. First pass, just get it up and going. Second pass, just nail it down. Get it all the way done. And then there's no kidding yourself. And if you look back at my status screen, you'll see on this, over here on this left side where it says engine, all the things that I have in green are things that I got to 100%, meaning like there's no extra little bit that I know about that I need to add. In truth, a few things have popped up on some of these that I will add, but they're not large things. None of them are. It's like when this beard guy punches, I want his animation to be a little more exciting. It's stuff like that. So right now I'm down here on the face animation. You can't see my mouse pointer going over the top of it, but I'm pointing out the yellow box with face animation. This is one of the remaining things that I have a lot of work to do on. Okay, so there's a lot to the face animation. There's a lot to it. It's meant to synchronize with spoken audio. It's got an ability to express 11 different emotions. These eyes will look at whatever the target of attention is. The lids will blink. They'll open wider if it's appropriate to the expression. And the mouth will be animated in synchronization with the audio that's spoken. What is this head though? It's kind of weird, like when you start out to see it. Right now I've got it turned on all the time. This here underneath, this body, this is what you actually control. This is your thing in the game that acts upon the world. Whereas this head, it pops up eventually only when the character is speaking, or maybe is scripted to show an emotion and reaction to something, but otherwise would disappear. So I thought, okay, I can't really control very easily where the player is going to be when the character begins speaking. What I would like to do is make it so that if the player is in the middle of doing something that really needs that face not to be blocking it, that the face will fade out. So here I've got like the face fading out here. The idea is that maybe you want to see that stairway down there. There's a richness or complexity score given to whatever is underneath of the face. And if that score goes up high enough, the face goes to its low opacity state. It gets dimmed. And then you can pretty clearly see what's underneath. Now, if you decide to just wait without issuing a command, after a little bit, it goes to the high opacity state, which is not 100% opaque. You can still see through it. But the idea is that if the player isn't actively moving around in the world, and maybe they wanted to take a moment to appreciate the dialogue that's being spoken and the story elements, they might just pause what they're doing and let the face go to high opacity so it can be seen better. These other characters will have faces too. This guy, he's way down there. When I put a face on him, it'll be the same size as this face. So it's not like this thing is floating in the actual world. It's more just a bit of overlay that's showing information about what's going on, but it's not anything that acts on the world. So when he has his face art ready, it'll pop up over the top of him and look about the same size as this. And when they're speaking to each other, their eyes will look at the faces. And yeah. Okay, what else about this? Okay, so I made it so that it automatically fades, and I made some refinements to it. Yeah, let's go down here. So it's staying faded. Oops. Let's go. Bam, 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 bam. So I noticed that the face starts to look. It's hard to make it look good when the camera ducks down. So I made it turn off if the camera ducks down. So I'll go underneath here. Camera ducks down. And then I didn't want to figure out in situations like this, like where exactly to put the face and how large it should be. It just seemed like there was no way to solve that problem reasonably. It would have been a very fiddly thing. So I just made it so if the camera ducks down, the face is gone. There were some different bugs that I fixed related to that. I also had some scaling issues with the face that I fixed. So if you do this, the face will just scale along. Although I do see something interesting. Okay, it seemed like maybe I have to let go of the resizing of the window for it to draw correctly, which is okay. It's not like everybody's constantly resizing their window, and you can expect a few visual glitches until you let go of the window. Yeah, that's no big deal. Not worried about that. Okay, so what's on the table for today? Like I was saying at the beginning, the face should only appear if the character is speaking, and they should disappear when the character's not speaking. So I'm thinking today, in this session, I'll get that to work. And then, I've got until, let's see, it's 11 now. I think I've got until maybe 2 before I have to get ready to go someplace. So got a good 3-hour session here. I got my morning coffee here, my second one of the day, my second tankard. Going for like 48 ounces of iced coffee here. So, all right, looking forward to this session. Because after I'm done with this session, I'll have to spend a lot less time explaining to people that are looking at why is the head up, what it's getting in the way and what's weird. Because it'll make more sense once the face corresponds to character speaking. It'll start to look like it's truly intended. I think before I do exactly that, I'll do one other thing, which is let's make sure. Let's give Billy his own face, even though I don't have the face art for it yet, because I'm interested in seeing how multiple faces work. There might be some bugs that come out of this too. Let's add face player. Then I'll just take the settings from M, the player controlled character, and just copy them over. Okay, I have no idea if this will work on the first try. We'll give it a shot. It worked. We got 2 M faces up there. Default behavior is a little weird, but it's not bad. Like, I don't know if I would correct it. I see the face not floating like straight above Billy. I wonder what it'll look like when I get down there and closer. It seems to be like if I get closer to it, that's gonna work. I mean, then it'll get more over the top of them. Yeah, I might work on that a little bit. Oh, then there's something else going on over here. Huh. What is making that happen? Alright, there's some bugs there. It's timed with the subtitles, which is quite strange. Possibly the canvas that's used for displaying the subtitles is also getting stuff blitted onto it, and that's a weird one. Okay, let me look at the scene to see if I can see the same problem on the big old giant canvas thing. Very odd. Hey DZ. What's going on? Well, glad to see you, man. All right. Okay. I'm trying to remember where you were at last. I think you'd moved on to a new project. Um, you gotta forgive me if my memory's not right in this. It might get confused with somebody else. But you were working on, like, was it some multiplayer type of a project? Anyways, catch me up if you don't mind. If you feel like talking about it. Massively multiplayer online game. Or even online role-playing game. Massively multiplayer. Momo Morg. So this weird face thing has got to be related to the subtitles. There's something like they're both using the same render texture or something behind the scenes. This is going to be a hard one to figure out. So if I do an on GUI call, that's cool. That's cool. I haven't done like network game programming in a long time. I kind of wonder if it's gotten easier. The hard stuff used to be dealing with latency and sort of continuing to update the scene even when you don't have the latest information, and then when you have the information, you correct the world in some way, like if you've gotten out of sync with it. Anyways, that used to be the hard stuff about it. Maybe it's different now. Maybe like frameworks and stuff abstract over that in a way where it's not as difficult. It does seem like there ought to be. I'm sure that this is so obvious. I'm sure that this is what they've got. Like you just say certain game objects should be, their state should be persisted across the scene over network communication. It just kind of happens automatically. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. I don't know. I'm out of that world. You know more about it right now than I do. I know what I can do. Nope. Go to settings, turn off subtitles, and see what happens. Okay. So maybe it's like if I've got one canvas that's already being used for the subtitles, maybe I need to to somehow draw to that same canvas. I don't know. I'm annoyed that this problem even exists. Feels like I didn't earn this problem. Like it shouldn't have been given to me. Like somebody else put a bug in the system somewhere. But must stop myself from ranting. Ranting is the death of progress. Cool. Turn the subtitles back on. And this happens. It happens each time an update is made to the canvas which is used for... Here, let me try that. Okay. All right, one other test. So subtitles is one thing that's using a canvas, but other things do too. So if I turn it off, I go here. All right. So it's not necessarily subtitles. It's just anytime I bring up a canvas, some area of that canvas or is blitted to when I do a graphics draw texture. All right, somebody must have had that problem before. Let's take a look, and let's close my personal email, and let's see what is the exact code I'm using. Face player. Draw texture. Unity graphics draw texture appears on canvas. This is on post render. Maybe that's an event I should be looking at. Okay, Unity on post render. On post render versus on GUI. Let me just try this, see what it does. On GUI. Now, I don't know if I might have just broke it. Yeah, might as well. Alright, let's restart it. Never change your code while Unity is playing. I kind of don't know why it tries to keep running after the code changes underneath of it. It always loses references to variables inside of classes, and like, I don't know why Unity even tries to keep running. Alright, so now I've got nothing. The faces just aren't drawing at all. No, I got all ambitious at the beginning of this session about moving on to something else, but I kind of feel like the correct action for me to take is to fix my bugs. So yeah, it doesn't work on post render. I'll put that back, I guess, but I've got a problem that maybe isn't very Googleable. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Graphics, render texture. Reversed image on canvas. That's the thing. I do not know why it's doing that extra. No. I'm not really worried about it being a reversed image. Let's do extra image on canvas. It's the hard part is putting together the right search term that will bring up somebody that had the same problem as me. Here. It's easier if I just bring it up again. Yeah, basically. So there's a call to this function called graphics render texture. Okay, these two are being drawn correctly, intentionally. Okay, but there's some kind of side effect, and I can only see it if I go far enough to the east. And then there's this extra image here, okay? So it's like there's some side effect of me drawing this face here, actually. Like there's some buffer that's used by the canvas that is shared by my calls to in the on GUI, and it's taking this image and putting it here, and there's no reason for it to. Like I've got no code that says put that image up there on the right. It's the same image as this, which is drawn correctly, but somehow, due to some shared resources, perhaps, when the subtitle canvas comes up, it has that, or if I just hit escape, then I've got this other GUI canvas for drawing these buttons. In the editor window while I'm playing. So I'm playing now, and I am in the editor window. So you're asking about something else besides what I'm looking at now. Like in the scene view, here's the scene view. It's kind of interesting to me that this canvas here doesn't actually have that extra bit on the side or anything like that. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I was expecting like to see maybe the face off over here, but it's not there. So I'll Google a bit more and see if I can come up with anything. Go on Stack Overflow and write out a question, and ooh, +10. Man, all my old questions earning me points. All right. Sometimes, like when I write out my question, it helps me figure out something that I should do. All right. Graphics render texture. True. You have to get the syntax on these things exactly right, or somebody will nitpick at you. So you know you didn't spell on GUI right. Like, okay, yeah, okay, that's not the problem. That's not the problem. All right, let's get this exactly right. But at the same time, I'm trying to do whoever's reading it a service and not put all of my code there. I hate it when people do that. Just the simplest amount of code to describe the problem, please. There. Let's see, let's start. Okay, texture 2D. Let's see, where is it created? I could make this. Suppose let's put this in a code block. No, that's too much. Just format it. Don't stop it. Stop. Just format it. That's all I want. Just format it. Okay, was that the one I clicked just now? Yeah, this one. Okay, cool. Work source. It'll matter to somebody. Let's say let's do it. I'm trying to make it simple, but I'm trying to not leave out anything that might actually contribute to the issue. And my overall goal with this is two things. One, clarify my thoughts. But two, I'll put this out here while I continue working on the problem. It'll take a while if I do get a response for somebody to respond to it. So it's like maybe I'll get lucky. It's like putting out a fishing line, and then I go off and do some other project and come back and hope that like a fish has just landed on my hook while I'm not paying attention. Maybe a crab pot would be a better metaphor, because you have to watch a fishing rod. Okay, so void update. Yeah, at the least, I'm going to get out of this a clearer point of view on this problem. At the least. About 50% on Stack Overflow for Unity questions as far as getting useful responses back. About 50%. Okay, so let's see. Set pixels, apply. Okay, so I'll do this the right way. I think that's a pretty good representative example. Is that correct? I don't want to say more than what's true. containing a, let's stop on this. Containing a, let's see. Containing a canvas component. That's interesting too, actually. You just said something that was on my mind. It seems to be located in the world, that extra copy. It's not in the same coordinate space as the GUI, even though the GUI is a necessary part of getting it to show up. Yeah, but okay, but I actually missed your question before. The second face on the guy is in screen space. But the third face, the one that is wrong, is weirdly in world space. That's true. That's true. Yeah. That is the one that gets copied, the second one. I will in a moment. I'll try some different tests in a moment. Copy of the work texture. All right. Cancel that. Let's go to Photoshop, make a smaller version. Okay, just so I wish this one wasn't here for this example I'm sending them, because when I say there's a second image, though they might look at this one and think that's the second image, so that's confusing. I think what I might do is I'll just good solution. Good solution. All right, then we'll just take all this. Crop it. Save as. What's this? An attachment? Is this attachment? No. Which one's attachment? This one maybe. All right. Browse. 2 downloads. Double M. Two 19.4 13F1. Yeah. Who cares? All right. Let me just take a preview on this. Okay, I think I'm ready to post this. What am I missing? The okay, review your question. Oh, I gotta add some tags. That's quite important. Unity, or at least, yeah, let's do that one. All right, so that's there. I think there's a 50% chance somebody says something good and useful in it. I'm going to do some extra tests, including the one you mentioned. But first I will get rid of some coffee. I'll be right back. Wouldn't it be crazy if someone answered it in that short amount of time? No, it didn't work out that way. Okay. So the thing you suggested, DZ, was could I take out the drawing the second person's face? And only draw the first face. I think that was the test. That if it's not, I still regard that as a worthwhile test. Okay. Alright, so it's pretty easy. I just turn the is visible off. Will that do it? I'm trying to remember what is visible actually does. So which script is that? That's face player. Okay, so we say if it's not visible, just drop out real fast. But I think also say here, if not is visible, return. Here, if not is visible, return. Since I've already got this here, I don't think I need it up here. I'd rather it not be in both places. Yeah. Stop fiddling with shit. It's like, all right, cool. Okay, are those all the top level methods? Okay, they are. I think the problem will still be there because I believe I saw it earlier with just one face. But let's double check. Okay, so just M's face is being drawn. Come over here. Okay, it's not there. So maybe it is something about that second one. The other way that I was able to see it was if I did a resize. Okay, the last time I did a resize, I was in a different place when I saw it. I guess I have to play through the level to get back to that spot. See it over here? No. Okay, I'll try to get back to the one place where I saw it with her. It was somewhere off over here. Let's see. Well, now I'm not seeing it. But it was that same kind of reversed image. It almost makes me wonder if it's just something like the way the textures are loaded into the card, some things are shared or something like that. I don't know. Maybe so. Let me do my technique of coming up with leads. All right. Double face leads. Just any ideas I can think of. I just kind of brainstorm things to check. Disable parts of, let's see, parts of blidding, like the pixel copy, not fixes, we're just troubleshooting. What else? Use some other event handler on GUI. Not sure how I can do that, but it's a thought. Move face to a scene object instead of using graphics. Render texture. A very expensive option there. Put face inside of a canvas. Geo with canvas. That's not a terrible idea. It's kind of like just make sure I use the Unity system for putting things in front of everything else. And be more likely to play by the rules, perhaps. But it seems like I have two different methods of updating the GUI part. One is based on canvas, the other is based on directly rendering textures. And maybe mixing the two is the issue. Go the opposite way. Render GUI without using canvas. That would be a pain in the ass, but it's just brainstorming. So I put all my bad ideas in there with my good ones. Check scene view again. And this one's easy to check real quick for the second face. Like, I would love it if there's just some game object somewhere in the scene that I just didn't notice. Look through hierarchy for temporary objects. Yeah, that's kind of like, let's see, you're saying not using the canvas for world faces and making them real game objects. That's kind of like this, but that's a variant. That's but it's a variant though. So you're saying don't use the canvas, put them in a Go, and then I have to size the Go to kind of get about the same effect. put face inside of a Go without canvas. E.g., size it yourself to approximate screen chords. This is brainstorm. I put all ideas that I can think of. Check for static vars, reused vars in face player. Why is second face rendering important for repo? Repro, not repo. Okay, let me think if there's any of these that are easy. I'll do those first. So we'll say plus on that one. That one's pretty easy. This one's easy. This one's pretty easy. So if I do some easy things first, it might give me a little more insight, and I don't have to go on to stuff down here, which is hard, or it could be like hours, maybe days for some of these. Like moving these into scene objects, after all the work I put in to get it working exactly how I wanted, that would be a lot. That could be days. And some of these are long shots. Like I don't know if there actually is another event handler that would be workable, because I already tried update, I already tried on post render. They don't actually work with that. Let's say read more docs around on GUI. Graphics render texture. I think I have like read through everything on graphics render texture. Maybe there's some stuff on GUI. All right, let me work on these things. First, I want to check the scene view again, because there's something really odd about that face appearing relative to where you are in the scene. That implies like there's some kind of game object in the scene, perhaps. I don't know. It was operating like a game object in the scene, which is really strange. All right, so turn Billy back on. One other aspect that might be related is that this moves up, down, left, right as I move around. I'm not sure why exactly. Well, it's not moving like a scene object would. Like it doesn't feel like it's affixed to a point in 3 space. But these things can be deceptive, so let me double check. Okay, here I already know it's not showing anything. But let's get into the level. Where is the level? Probably up above. No. So if it were any place, it'd be off over here. Yeah, it'd be around the edge here. Go up. Nothing there. Let's go down. Nothing there. I don't think it's a scene object, but I want to rule it out. So let's look through the hierarchy too, see if there's anything unusual. Well, that's something I could delete. But who cares about that right now? Yeah, there's not going to be anything in here. Anything in here? Yeah, let's look at main. Subtitle pane. So if I hide it, if I hide my subtitle pane, let me see. Yeah, so it really wants, it's part of that canvas rendering. It's somehow getting into the canvas rendering. Let me try, let's turn off that. Let's turn off canvas scaler. Oh, interesting. Oh man, Cicada, you showing up here right now, you're gonna feel so vindicated. You're gonna feel so friggin' smug, man. So the problem we talked about like 2 or 3 days ago, I fixed it. I fixed all the coloration and everything. So the palette's right. I had to just change like the render texture to be in the correct format. And now, yeah, that was okay. That was all right. Now it's like, well, I should have listened to you more carefully, apparently. So now the thing is, the canvas is giving me this extra. It's like this blit that I did to graphics, meant to go just to the screen. It somehow bled into an unrelated shared resource. It meant to be unrelated of the canvas, and now I'm getting this unwanted extra image here. It's clearly related to the canvas. So every time that the subtitle updates, it draws that canvas and it adds this extra image here, which I did not put there. These guys are not associated as child objects under the canvas at all. It's just like there's some shared resource that they're both using. I can turn the canvas scaler off and it starts putting that over there, which is fine. That makes some sense. So Subtitle pane script. Do that. Turn this off, it'll go away. Everything goes away. Oh, yeah, here. Screen space overlay. Well, okay, but so what's the alternative if I want to display UI elements like subtitles? Yeah, but that's what I need though. I need the subtitles. And these faces are not drawn on canvases. I mean, they're not intentionally drawn on canvases. Okay, but if you're telling me that for performance reasons, that doesn't necessarily solve the issue that I'm dealing with. So I wouldn't make that change for performance reasons right now. Yeah, so I'm basically looking at this in a kind of a Bayesian way. Let's just add this to the list of my leads, what you just said. So basically, I want to get to this problem, I want to follow leads that have the right ratio of effort to try versus, you know, like possibility of uncovering something useful. Let's see. Change canvas to world coordinates. Better performance. Maybe solves a problem. Well, I can understand that after this experience. I also kind of wonder if I can render my subtitles without using a canvas. Because if I could do that, then the only place I would continue using canvases would be my meta stuff, the menus and stuff. So I could come to the menu system here and I could just hide all the faces when I okay, but remember it's a GUI element. It's not supposed to be in scene space. Like the subtitles are not supposed to be like positioned at some point inside of the world. They're supposed to be screen coordinate positioned. So if I add a Text Mesh Pro, okay, overlay, that's one aspect of it. The other thing is the screen coordinates. So would I be just kind of calculating my own position inside of the scene that corresponds to screen coordinates? That makes some sense. That makes some sense. All right, let me think about that. All right. Render GUI for subtitles anyway, without using Canvas. Text Mesh Pro, not GUI. Overlay, parent to camera. Feels a little tricky, but it also feels like it would probably be a good overall change as well. I'll say plus on this one. Okay, this one I got done checking. Okay. These ones are easy enough to check. They're long shots, but I'll just check them. They might give me some more insight. Okay, I don't even know what camera stacking is. I'll just write it down. Camera stacking. Yeah, look it up real quick. I'm not going to make you type it all out. Oh, hold on. Answer to my... Event type repaint events. And this guy's saying be more canvas. Use the friggin', I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of move his thing off into my troubleshooting. I appreciate his effort to help there. But yeah, actually, what is this? If you want, okay, if you want to draw a texture from inside of OnGUI code, you should only do that from event type repaint events. This one I already covered, and up above, let's say basically, why not use simple image? Well, put inside of a Go with canvas is basically what he was saying. So I'll just say. My gut says you're right on that. Just because I feel like I haven't gotten much from canvases. And there's been a number of problems I've had to work through that were sort of like black box type nonsense. With Unity being the black box. Let me summarize this everything he said. I don't even know what this means though. Event type repaint events. Look at camera stacking next. Okay. Well, I should say Unity. No, it knows. It knows. Google knows. You're a Unity guy. Says Google, you want camera stacking for Unity people. Now, I'm not in Universal Render Pipeline. Yeah. All right, let's see. Belt. Yeah. I don't know if camera stacking works, and now I need to put Unity in front. So here it's saying URP. I'm not URP, as you pointed out. So if a past post of mine comes up. Alright, whatever. Let's just remove built-in and see what comes up. Is it only available in URP? Because I keep seeing all this stuff for URP. Okay. To layer the output of multiple cameras and create a single combined output. You just create a second camera. And change the culling layers on it. It doesn't sound easy to me. It sounds like I'd have to rework my face code because it's not associated with a game object. And the game object would have a layer associated with it which could be used for calling by one camera or another. But since I'm using graphics, I don't think it is, because being called on GUI, it's clearly not affected by the post render stuff, so it makes me think that it's not on the normal camera. I'm in a maze of options here, you know. So on GUI, okay. Hey, Razophone. Yeah. So, I don't know. So we'd say camera stacking, but it's kind of like again, the Bayesian thing. I don't want to embark on something that is a lengthy reworking of the code if it has a small chance of resolving the problem. Okay. I mean, I can add a second camera. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this, I guess this is, so what are the different cameras supposed to do? Like this camera I just created is for displaying UI. I guess this is the camera for displaying UI, and then I set the culling mask to just be UI. Okay, I guess I want it to always be. Okay, so you say set my subtitles to UI. So go to my subtitle pane, look at options here. Okay, set that to orthographic. Okay, but then you say set my subtitles to UI, and I'm still kind of lost on that. I'm still kind of like fiddling around looking at where the options are for that. Oh, well, I suppose there's layers. Maybe that's what you mean. Like the layer is what you mean. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, that's actually probably just generally a better setting for it anyways. Okay, so this camera is only going to show UI elements. And then I don't understand the stacking part. So like I've got two cameras. This one I want to maybe, let's see, the calling I'm guessing this other one I want to have it so it excludes UI from its rendering. I'm guessing I want to cull that out. So we cull. Okay. I guess let's remove UI from this main camera though. Does that sound right? Okay. And then there's going to be some now I'm looking for the depth. Here it is. Okay. So let me think. Lower is earlier. Lower number is earlier. We can try both, but one thing I'm missing is we'll have two cameras going, but how are we going to display both of them? Are we going to render like the UI to a render texture and put a render texture on top of everything? Or how does the... Okay. So let's do... Okay, a camera with a large... Hold on. Got it. Okay. So -100 to 100. Let's do -10. The clearing flags on the UI camera. You mean culling flags? Because I have it so it's just doing UI on the culling. Clear flags. Okay. Don't know what all these are going to be. You're saying don't do skybox. I'll just turn it off, I guess. No? Yeah, I don't understand this option. Clear flags. What to display in empty areas. Okay, that makes sense. Now I get it. Be fun to do don't clear. I'll save that for another day. Alright, solid color, yeah. Oh, depth only? Oh, display nothing. Oh yeah, that would be like transparent. Maybe that's a good first thing to try. Okay. Maybe this might work. I don't know. I can hit play and try it. I've never had two cameras going at the same time. I kind of don't understand. Agreed. Let's remove that. You mean like just something? Yeah, I mean, why do test elements? Because like I've got the subtitles that are set to render to UI. I mean, isn't that my test? Okay, well there'll be subtitles right when it starts. I'm gonna play just to see what the hell happens. Probably nothing good. Probably I missed 2 or 5 things. Well, there's subtitles. I guess it's kind of nice that I don't know of any other way the subtitles have gotten on there other than the second camera. Yeah. So it is kind of neat that it's working as before. It's still there? Okay. I'll say this, you were right. It didn't take too long to try that out. So as far as things to try, that was a good thing to check. Okay, I am wondering if I truly set that up correctly, because I still see this other UI being drawn. I didn't set any layers on that. So it makes me doubt that I have it set up correctly. So I'm going to back out. Okay, let's just double check my player cam. Culling mask should be avoiding UI. It is. Okay. Just to make sure that it's truly that new camera. Where'd it go? Let me see. Where the hell did... Okay, UE camera. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where are you even located at? Let me get you in a decent spot. Oh, you got moved to level. Okay. Tag this as don't organize so that my code will stop moving it into the level hierarchy. Okay, and let's move this back out here. Okay, I'm going to hide the UI camera just because I want to verify that those subtitles were actually being drawn with the UI camera. No. Okay. So I thought that it would have required that UI camera to show the subtitles. Let me double check the subtitles to make sure they're on the right layer. So I set the layer to UI, and this, did it get the child objects? I thought it would have. It did. Huh. How are the subtitles drawing? So this is the canvas that draws them. I mean, I don't have to start the game. The main object, it's a game object prefab that, yeah, it's responsible for objects that appear in almost every scene and are used in almost every scene. It just adds consistency between the different scene files to have this prefab there. Okay. So I don't like that I have. Let's tuck that in. Okay. I don't like that I have this disabled, and the UI layer stuff is still being drawn with this player cam. It makes me feel like I haven't properly tried out this camera stacking idea because it's not operating in a way that is different than what happened before. Okay? This one here. Okay. So it's using forward rendering instead of yeah, I did. Yeah, that was an important change to make. It was a good change that you recommended. The frame rate went way up. You were right. So if you said, let's go back to forward rendering, I would say, no, we'll do something else besides that, because I love my new frame rate. say? Okay, clipping, colon. I wonder what happens if I hide the player cam, turn on the UI cam. See, I've got both cameras hidden now. I've got both cameras hidden, and I'm still seeing the subtitles being rendered in the game view anyways. So if I go back to subtitle pane, the canvas is over here. Screen space overlay. Yeah. So it feels like maybe there's some kind of hacky thing about how canvases render where they just sort of they get onto the screen no matter what. I don't know. Screen space, camera, let's see. Okay, that's interesting. Here, let's turn the UI camera back on. Okay, so I don't know about the coordinate system that might be responsible for. I need to set the target camera on the canvas. I mean, there's, when you say target camera. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, I see. UI camera. Okay, let's turn the UI camera back on. Okay, this looks promising. This looks promising. Okay, turn the player camera back on. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's try it again. Now that we know that we have two cameras set up with some separation between them. All right, so those are drawn correctly. Subtitles are present. So no regression with that. I just need, I should actually move my starting position for my character off to the right so we can reproduce this quicker, but well, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Oh ho ho, look at that, look at that, look at that. Are you smiling over there? You should be. Holy shit. Oh, wow. Nice work, buddy. That was awesome. That was awesome. Okay. All right, let me clean things up a little bit and I'll keep going. I gotta do the good citizen thing on Stack Overflow. What to say to this guy? What to say? Thanks. Yeah. Towards event. type repaint. Look into it with some very good luck. I did actually find a solution. Which I will repost below. I've had mixed experiences there. I've had crickets over on Unity forums for some things, and I went out to Stack Overflow and got answered. I do like the philosophy of Stack Overflow about making the questions good. Yeah. The solution I found that resolved my problem was camera stacking. I created 2 cameras and set I created a second camera that was cold to just UI layer. The first camera, camera Stack Overflow. First camera had UI layer removed from culling. And then the calls to graphics render texture, graphics draw texture to graphics draw texture no longer appeared on the canvas used for UI. Alright, I think that's good enough. It's a nice enough answer. Could help somebody else out. There we go. Moving on. Okay, let me see if I still have a problem when I go out to the meta menu. I will need to get the UE camera inside of my main prefab. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to go through this stupid level thing again. Okay, that's good. Alright, so I have to do the same thing with my Meta UI. Just set the layer on it and they'll get the culling will yank this out. Okay, let's move UE camera into main. Why would I want to be a wild maniac and set up a third camera? Oh, you mean for like the Meta UI? Okay. It's not a bad idea. I'll keep it in mind as an option. All right. Yeah, let's just do it this way. We'll unpack main. Move the UE camera inside of here. Okay. Let's see the subtitle pane. I would kind of like this to be present inside the children. So let's just go through all these and just fix them in there. Okay, meta menu, layer, UI. Yes, change the children. The children are our future. Okay, cancel dialog. Yeah, save it. Layer, UI. People need to think about the children. Settings, save it. Okay, UI. Yes, change the children. Okay, and then where's my subtitles pane? I got it someplace. No, for whatever reason I put it over here. Okay, we'll save that. Oh, I also got to do screen space, cameras. I gotta go back to those other ones too. I might be able to just multi-select them. Okay, we want this to be, oh. I gotta do that inside of an override in the main object. Okay. Okay, save that. Go back, change all of the other UI elements to be well, you're talking about setting the camera? The camera option here? This should be okay because if I go into my main prefab, then I'll have inside of that prefab, I'll have the UI camera there. And from that standpoint, I can create an override for the child prefabs to reference the UI camera. I don't like subtitles being off over here. Let me move it to a better place. Let's go. Let's see. Boom. Go into meta. Come on, go down, go down. Children. Okay, now I got it all in one place. Can get rid of this game object. Okay, children. Let's see if I can do all of these all in one go. Meta menu, okay, cancel, okay, dialogue, settings. I already did subtitle pane, tutorial text. So make them all be screen space camera. All their layers are all set to UI. Maybe I'll just do it one more time. Okay, cool. Then go up one level into the main. It won't, well, it'll be inside of the main prefab. I just have to Go back to my scene and just drag this into this prefab place. Okay, so then let's see if the thing I always thought it would work works. So inside of main, that works, but now I'm getting confused because where's the other stuff? Oh, it's in Booter. I can see trade-offs. I think this is okay. Maybe, but like if the subtitle pane, the reference to the camera is inside of the same prefab, like that doesn't seem that dangerous to me. I'll drag it over just to be real clear it's the same game object. So that, I mean, honestly, I think that encapsulates a lot of that stuff there. I think I'm going to take your other point of advice, though. I'm going to have 3 cameras. So I'm going to call this the subtitle camera. Okay. And subtitle pane will be going to the subtitle camera. Then I'll create another camera inside of this other object, which doesn't get destroyed between scenes, called Booter, which is like main, but it persists between scenes. Okay. Yeah, big learning day. Good stuff. Okay, so let's just kind of copy this, and I'll bring over to Booter, which is where all the meta stuff is anyways. Paste that here. Let's call this UI camera. Okay, and these guys, I will have them all point to UI camera. I'm gonna have to create another layer for subtitles. I'll go back and do that in a sec. Oops, or just don't do that. Just pull this over. Okay, so that will probably get all those to go on this camera. The depth on it I want to set. UI camera I want to be in front of other stuff. Is it 0? If I remember right, higher means closer. Larger depth, yeah. Alright, so let's put this out at 10. Then let's go back to subtitles. Okay, save all that. Okay. So then on the subtitle pane, I want to create a new layer. It'll be just for subtitles. Subtitles. It could be a little more general though. Why don't I say should it be just for subtitles, or should I just do like in-game UI? I'll do subtitles for now. Okay, so then camera is different calling. We're not going to do UE anymore. We're going to do subtitles. All right, that looks like it's probably set up right. Let's save all that. Come back to the scene. Yeah, stack like Marilyn Monroe. Let me see if that picked up everything. You got the subtitles. If I look at the subtitle pane, screen space camera, subtitle camera. Well, I went really old. Like, you're supposed to get that that's even before my time. I didn't say, like, say Pamela Anderson, for example. I was not alive in the 60s. All right, let's see how many things I broke. Okay, faces are there. I'll just go back, make sure I didn't regress on that other bug. Subtitles are there. That's awesome. Okay, no regression. Okay, and we got the menu there too. And it is drawing over the top of this. It's just that it's got translucency. Let's go to settings. Now this guy though, no, I take it back. So these faces are drawn on top of everything. They're like, they've got some other secret layer or something. If you call that graphics draw texture thing, it's like picking some top layer above everything else. I might just turn off the faces when I go to the meta screens. That wouldn't hurt anything. But first I'm gonna go pee. All right, Cicada. Catch you later. Thanks for the tremendous help. I think you maybe cut that problem time down to 1 hour from 8 hours or something like that. So that was huge. Thank you. All right, let's see. So let me just take note of the things I want to fix. I get to delete all this stuff. Yay. Bam. Hide faces when meta menus come up. Non-player faces don't stay affixed to position above character. Why? Why would they not? Okay, let's do the hide faces with the meta menus first. So the idea is that if I bring up any of these meta screens, I'm just going to hide these faces so that they don't show over the top of this. There's probably some kind of tricky way to get the, not tricky, but like a high effort way to get these faces to draw underneath of here. I'd have to abandon like a lot of other work that I did that got those faces to draw right performantly. But I think it's an easy enough solution for me to just add in the pause handler that the faces will be hidden while you're paused. Oh, if I exit here, it'll do a mid-game save, so next time I hit play, it'll start me off right here. So yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so face manager. I think I already got some of this. Eye pausable. Yeah, there we go. Faces, we'll set the opacity to 0. Unpause, do I need anything there? I guess let's set the hid faces flag. I'll just, when it comes back on, I think what I can do is just let the update handler figure out with its same logic it already has how the opacity should be set when you come back. I'll be able to test it out. Nothing really to do for unpause, so leave that there. I have to register in start. The pause. Game pause manager, S, register pausable, this. Oh, no, it doesn't work. What is the thing you want? Okay, yeah, this, does it unload with the scene? It does. I don't think it's a bootable. Is it a bootable? No, it's not. So it unloads with the scene. All right, let's see if I fix that problem. Ooh, I probably did not, because when I pause, it's gonna set the time scale to 0, which means none of the updates that would make the fade happen will work. So let's do this. Face controller. Let's make one set opacity call. What's the issue? Oh, go check that out. That looks familiar. I like it better if I call it set opacity. Okay, back to the face manager. Let's do for each face, in, faces, face, set, opacity, 0f. Come on. What? Is it not a public method? What? Oh, I gotta do one more member. There we go. All right, we'll see how that works. I got a feeling like it might need one more update frame to perform the hide. It might not work because of that, but we'll see. All right, so escape. That didn't work. Needs another update frame. Dang it. Try something like face controller, hide immediate, maybe. Doesn't seem right. What is the actual thing? I could try setting it to be not visible. That might be a good thing to do. Let me just write some cheat code and then I'll make it nice if it works. Okay, so we'll say face player. That should probably keep the on GUI from being called. I think it's the on GUI that's being called. After the pause, and that means the face continues to be redrawn. The update is the thing that would set opacity and update the work buffer, but it's on GUI that's actually drawing it. But if I set is visible to false, then I think it won't draw it anymore. So that means I would need a corresponding Alright, let's see how that goes. Yeah. Yeah. That's the gist. That's the thing. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, let me think of a clean way to write this. One thing I could do, I could have face controller with the set opacity, but there could be a thing that if opacity gets set to 0, we set the visible flag to false. Let's do this. Just make a method that will just encapsulate that. So set opacity. Float. Set opacity. Okay. Let's say opacity equals set opacity. Then I want another one that's set here. Protected bool is visible. Is that the right term to use? Okay, is visible. Okay. If opacity greater than 0f, if not, yeah, this is simple enough. I don't need to do anything that big here. To say is visible equals opacity greater than 0f. Okay. And any place that I'm currently setting opacity, I'll make sure I call this instead. And this will give me some performance benefits too. So I fade out all the way, then I want all the code that I've got that's copying pixels around to just stop. You know, it doesn't need to do anything if the opacity's gone all the way down to 0. This is almost syntactic sugar, but because I could, in my other code, instead of using it as visible, I could be saying, is your opacity set to this or that? But I think this will work better. Okay. There may be some other criteria I want to add to this later on about when visible gets set. So it's good to track it as a separate variable for now. Well, for future too, probably. Okay. Let's look for every place that opacity gets set. Yeah, right here. Just do set opacity. Fade to opacity. Bam. And also, just for the moment, I'm going to set this to default to true to do add in speaking criteria later. Okay, so that'll let me do testing. Just make sure I didn't miss anything with the opacity. There shouldn't be any place where opacity gets set. It doesn't call set opacity. Okay, that looks good. Now go to the face player. And we've got 2 is visible variables now. I'm going to get rid of this one. It's hiding. Yeah, that's right. So if I just remove this, now the face controller, the base class, is going to be in charge of setting is visible. It's no longer a inspector edited thing. Which is a nice change for some upcoming things I want to do with is visible being set only when you're speaking. Make sure opacity is not getting set anywhere here. Okay. Okay, and here I can go back to the original code I had, which was hide everything for me over here. Don't need this anymore. An update should be able to fix that for me. Because here it's going to do set all faces opacity, set all faces simple, all that, and all those. We're going to set speaking opacity, which initiates a fade. Okay. Okay, I think this is all good. Let me try it. Okay. I'm missing one of them. Okay, so I regressed on something. But just to see if that works. Okay, good. But coming back does not. Okay. So there's some kind of issue there. Let's take a look at the update loop on Face Manager. Is my camera ducked? I don't think so. No, it's not. Okay, I don't think it's ducked. Oh, god damn that stupid thing. Although, okay, it is overriding the opacity here. I think let's get it down to here. Yeah. Oh, just little stuff as I make changes. It's just kind of simple logical things. Okay, so what? All right, so the speaking opacity gets that. Controller. Okay, so then fade 2 should get called. Let's make sure this gets called. All right, fade 2 is going to get called beneath 2, which, yeah, that one. What is my visible? Is it, oh, visible is false? Oh, I think I got it. I think I understand. When I set visible to false, it probably disables some of this logic. Let me double check that. I don't know if that's right. Okay, fade 2. Okay, it's just saying you're already there. Okay, I got it. 2 opacity, 0.75, we're already there, so the fading logic is fine. It's going to be inside of face player. Frilo, what's going on? Yeah, I've got this thing here. It's going to say, if we're not visible, return. So it seems like my logic needs to be able to say we are visible if we're going to start moving away from a current opacity of 0. Okay, I think I got it. Because otherwise it will never update. It'll never show anything. Okay, so if I'm a face controller, I do a fade to. What is the cleanest way to write this? Let's assume opacity controls the opacity of the face. So the face controller handles the transitions between different opacities. The face player takes that opacity value and uses it for its final render of the work buffer to the screen. Okay, so that came back on, but still missing this guy here. Don't get me started on shaders. Yes, I agree. I do not want to write a shader right now. I think they are fun, but I'm not good at them, and it's a modal thing. So like if I want to go write some shaders, I'm going to do all my shader related work in the same block. Like I'm going to stop writing a bunch of C# code, or I'm just going to go pure shader, because I find the context switch very jarring. And but yeah, I think there is some shader work in my future. I've done some already, like these outlines. That's my custom shader, but it's tough for me to just jump into shaders and then go back to something else. What do you use for debugging? Do you do anything special for debugging, or do you just do like kind of the normal thing where you make like variables render in certain ways on the screen so that you can see results? Yeah, which is cool. I really do appreciate that you can immediately see the results. So you've got some environment where you can set breakpoints. DZ, nice hanging out with you. Thanks for coming by, and good luck on your massively multiplayer online role-playing game project. I'm not really making fun of you. I wish you the best. Huh. Yeah, I think probably Rider doesn't support the breakpoints. I'm not sure. Okay. Huh. So, wow. That could be really helpful, but I'd had problems getting it to recognize breakpoints. Maybe I should just, if you say it's possible, that's helpful in and of itself. I might try it again in the future. And then there's that thing like, okay, you set a breakpoint. Oh, well, I suppose, okay, if you were interested like in one pixel on the screen or one part of the one call, not all of them. I suppose you could put like some if these variables are true, then breakpoint. Yeah. Yeah, that was another thing I was considering doing too. Is getting like I think the standard way of doing it is you have like an extra texture that you output some kind of encoded message to in the texture, and then on the other side of it, it logs. Yeah. Oh, wait, okay. Hold on, what are we talking about here? Are you saying that you were not when you're talking about breakpoints, you weren't talking about inside of shaders? Is that when you say something it's impossible? Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay. You got my hopes up. I thought like you could set breakpoints inside shaders, and I was like, wow, that would be a game changer. A logger is possible from what I've read, but you have to kind of have an encoding decoding system through a texture. Nodes, I don't know what they are, so I guess I don't. Is it like total visual based? Because I hate that visual scripting. Like, does it output like source code and then you have access to the source code? Okay, then that's not so bad. I can't stand when there's just no way to get at the source. It just bugs the shit out of me. Yeah, yeah. So like when I get to a point where I want to switch to shader mode and spend like a week or five just in shader land, and I think this might be something to pull in. Um, yeah, it might be a good thing. But yeah, anyways, well, I mean, the stuff that I've got in my future with shaders is it's a little bit limited, but there's some stuff. So these lines, I'd like to figure out how to anti-alias them. Right now, I've got like a bit of a hack where it'll make these thick pixels get more translucent and it doesn't look as bad. But what I really want to do is have the line be black, and just around the edges it'll have anti-aliasing pixels. The other one I'm interested in. Really? You interested in doing like some paid contracting work? We can talk business offline, but uh, yeah, yeah, um, yeah. Okay, so the other one I'm interested in, um, there's a lot of textures that are repeating that are basically tiled, but an ability to have a shader put like variants of the texture, you know, like maybe one of these squares has got like a little bit of dirt on it. Another one is just a slightly different look than the other ones. Then, you know, yeah, it's painting, but it would be like, you know, like this wall would have just a set of tiles that would be applied to it. I started down that road writing a shader, and it was almost kind of working, but I was having trouble debugging it. So I basically had this shader for, you know, tiling, and it had a source texture that had like the different tiles you could draw on the wall. Had a map texture that would say, which tile would be applied at which position on the wall. Okay, but I don't want to add meshes to achieve that. So like I don't want to like break. I already have that solution of taking the geometry and creating like a grid-like mesh to put different textures in. And there's even like some automated application of the texturing. But I feel like I could do a lot if I know about, you know, decals too. If I could have some programmatic generation of what tiles are applied. So it's not just doing like randomization to make the textures not repeat as much. There's actually some logical stuff. Like above a certain height, there should be a certain wall texture. Stuff like that. Yeah. And like I'm pretty good as far as like generating like the logic for creating the different textures I want, and now putting that into you know, like a map texture, which would be an input to the shader. The part that I'm really bad at is debugging like the different UV mapping problems and stuff. Drop me a link. Drop me a link. I'll take a look. Let's see, hold on, don't post it yet. Let me. No, don't post it yet, because you'll have to repost it. And there we go. Yeah, if you got a link to drop, I'll pick it up here. There we go. Hopefully I don't have that stupid video problem again. Let's see. Let me just forget. Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Okay, exit that page. And then let's just play this in something besides the browser. Yeah, it's like the anti-aliasing coming out with the gradient. I mean, it's the same concept. Yeah, and okay, so you've got... Okay, waiting for the end. That's cool. I'm gonna watch it again. It's a real nice effect. Oh yeah. Alright, so the thing I've got for the outline shader, okay, I mean this is basically the current outline shader. I copied it from something called FlatKit. Yeah, definitely. There's an asset called FlatKit, and they had some source code in, and I copied it over, and I changed the stuff that adjusts the thickness so that if the lines are closer to the camera, they're thicker. Then I add this little trick to make it seem like it was almost anti-alias, but it's not really. Alright, let's check out this other thing. And it uses normals and depth to figure out if there's going to be a line. And I was so happy to finally see a non-silhouette line on like a. Okay, the trick most of the outline shaders use is making the vertexes kind of go out so that they make a silhouette out of like geometry, and it never looks right for the non-silhouette lines. So like there's nothing there. So okay, let's take a look at this other URL. But I would love to add anti-aliasing to that. Let's see. It might make me download it again. Yeah, let's just download it. Yeah, let's just download it. File, save page as. Oh, that's very good. We'll watch that again. It's over so fast. Just when I'm admiring it, and then it's gone. Ah, super cool. All right. So, Cicada, can you do me a favor? Just because, like, we might talk a little bit offline about like maybe doing some work, but I don't want to do it on stream. It's bad. For different problems can come up if you do it on stream. Can you just send me an email, and then we could just start a further conversation there. Let's see. So my email address is. I do not mind sharing it with the world. Well, let's just like maybe have each other's contact info in case something comes up, you know, if you feel like it. Oh, true. Okay, never mind that. I already got it. Okay. All right. I got a thing I gotta get ready for. So I'm gonna go offline right about here. But anyways, it was a cool session. I will talk to you later. And Fright Law, thanks for hanging out. Anybody else that might be on, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, that was victory. That was victory. All right. I'm gonna stop the stream right about here. Catch y'all later. Stop the stream.